His research interest is holistic biomedical device development for real-life health monitoring, which utilizes novel technologies such as inject-printed body-worn flexible electronic patch sensors, battery-less wireless sensors, and other wearables for multimodal data collection, and real-time machine learning with edge computing for mobile health applications. Sir, it was an honor to read out your biography. So we are really, really glad to have you here with us. Now, without any further ado, I would humbly request Dr. Morshed, sir, to take over the platform.
Thank you, Sarah. That was very nice introduction. Thank you so much for the kind words. I have a PowerPoint slide that I'm going to utilize for this presentation. So I hope you can see that. After the presentation, I will be open for any questions. So I'm going to skip first couple of slides. Sarah already introduced me. I have done my HSC from Chittagong College and then worked my way through undergraduate and then graduate studies. I have been a professor at the University of Memphis initially for 9 years since 2011, and then moved to Texas Tech University recently as an associate professor. Also, I'm going to skip the bio page because Sarah already introduced me and mentioned about this already. So let's get to the talk today. So you want to be a computer scientist or computer engineering. Why? Do you want to get a job, good job, or do you want to earn money? Or are you passionate about it? It's very important to have a good motivation. Why you are pursuing this degree can be a combination of it, but it's important to have a passion as well as the others. To succeed, an important part is to have a goal. You should have a goal, what you want to do after you graduate. Although you have started right now, but already have a understanding where you want to go after you graduate and prepare yourself. Because this time will pass very quickly and you will find that you are not prepared if you don't start right now. Think about where you want to see yourself after 10 years or even 15 years from now. Always it helps if you think of a long-term goal so that you can look at your short-term steps, what you need to do immediately to achieve that long-term goal. Always aim high. Just because you aim high, you'll not be able to do that. But if you aim high, there's a high chance that you will do something good. But always keep your expectation in a more real life, less rate. Also, it's very important that you need to grow a love for your study, because if you don't, it will be painful. So if you grow a love, it will be less painful. But either way, it will be painful. Nothing good comes easily. So you need to be prepared to get onto this and complete this painful journey. So hopefully you'll end up with a successful career. I have taken this definition of a computer from Wikipedia. What is a computer? A computer is a machine that can be instructed to carry out sequences of arithmetic or logical operations automatically via computer programming. Although if I looked it up 50 years or maybe 100 years ago, I would actually get a very different answer. The dictionary would say a computer is a person who computes. Computer is a newer technology in the grander scale of things in the last 100 years. This is a early stage computer, as you can see on the left side. This is an early prototype of a mechanical computer. There is no electronic component, but it can do some computation. That's why it is a computer. Realistic computer or present computers are started from 1960s. As you can see on the right side, it looks like a person is working in a room full of electronics. The whole room is just one computer. But nowadays, when you say computer, you probably see this. So this is our, with technology improvement, computer has made smaller in size, cheaper in price, also power consumption wise is getting even efficient every day. So on the left side, you can see a desktop computer. On the right side, you can see a laptop computer. So what does computer have? Computer has a central processing unit or CPU. It has memory. Computers also have some storage or hard disk drive. All computers have displays and also peripherals such as keyboard, mouse, printer, and so on. So that makes a computer. Is a smartphone a computer? All of you probably have a smartphone. It has a CPU. It has memory. There is a storage element in a smartphone. There is a display. The peripherals are integrated with it. So it is actually a computer. What else is a computer? What about a car? Is it a computer? Car has multiple computers inside it. There is computer for cruise control. There is computer for fuel delivery system. All of these computers have their own CPU, memory, storage, and the display sometimes is present, sometimes is not. And there is some peripherals can also exist. Is there other computer around us? Yes, there is a lot of computer, microwave oven, medical devices, prosthetics, smart cars, camera, printer, TV, plane, router, Google Glass, drone, fridge, wearables, and all other things. All of these are some examples of computers. So computers is actually all around us. Don't just think that computer is the one that is the desktop or the laptop. We are always interfacing with computers. Computers are everywhere nowadays. So it's a good time to study computer science and computer engineering. Let's look at this computer science and computer engineering term itself. What are the meaning of computer science? Computer science means the study of principles and how computer work. They focus mainly on programming, troubleshooting issues on the computer software level. Typically, you learn how to design and use computer software using programming languages such as C, Java, or Python. What is computer engineering then? Computer engineering is the study of design and making computers. It focuses on solving design challenges of computer hardware, for example, making CPU design, making interfaces. You can learn about design of computer using digital electronics and other hardware programming languages, such as VHDL or Verilog. So as you can see, they are not exactly same, but they are interrelated. And here, in this department, in the computer science and engineering, you're going to learn about both. This will include some courses from computer science and some courses from computer engineering. That means you will end up with a wider job market and higher opportunity for higher studies. You will have some computer science courses. For example, you will learn about introduction to computing, structured programming, object-oriented programming language, web programming. In the computer engineering domain, you're going to learn about digital logic design, computer architecture, microprocessor and microcontrollers. So if you want to pursue this CSC degree at ISU, what you have to do, this is a 4-year or 8-semester. It's 140 credit hour. It will include fundamentals and advanced courses. For example, there will be GNET courses, basic science and math, core CSE courses, elective courses, and other engineering. Remember that all of these are important to pursue the degree because when you become a computer science, You have to have some basic science knowledge and a spread and breadth of your knowledge. So don't take anything lightly. All the courses are important, and that's why they are put into this curriculum. Also, you must be very careful to have a high GPA because this is what it counts at the end. If you have more than 80% in any course, you get a GPA of 4, which is the highest GPA. You should have, there is a clear semester-wide plan provided. You should follow that. If you can follow that, that it will make sure that you complete the course in 8 semesters or 4 years. So try to stick with it. After you do computer engineering or CSC degree, what sort of career opportunity you will have? You can work in industry or companies. That is where most of the people will typically end up, and they are mainly high paid jobs. You can also have, these typically also have a typical office hour, so you have more enjoyable life. You can have a spare time. Another option is to think about a startup company. There is a lot of a startup company that is growing, and computer science and engineering allows you to get the fundamentals so that you can start your own company. There is a high demand in this area. Although this is high risk, but then payoff can be very high. If you're successful, then it might be very worth it. It is an adventurous career pathway. If you are up for it, please go ahead. We need a lot of entrepreneurs for these startup companies in Bangladesh. There is also opportunity will open up for higher studies if you want to pursue higher studies within the country or even outside the country. You have to have a passion for study in that case because higher studies will be more time consuming and more stressful. But then it will opens up opportunity to go to other countries and maybe continue your career elsewhere. It can be a struggle during the study, but more opportunities open up and you might be liking it at the end. So think of the long-term goal, not the short term. So in Bangladesh, what are the companies that employs CSC graduates? These are some phone companies: Grameen Phone, Robi, Banglalink. There is TigerITBD.com, Walton, who has phones. So there is computer engineering demand as well as computer science. There's lots of software companies like Bigtroy, Datasoft, Dream71, HiSoft. Also, Samsung and Uber has recruits in Bangladesh, so you can also apply for those places. This is a chart I pulled up, a little bit old, but still it shows that there is an emerging and growing market in the tech sector. In Bangladesh is in number 6 right now. India is number 1. There is lots of opportunity for growth, and I'm sure that some of you will help us to push this further, even to higher level than we are currently. Also, if you look at the available jobs and where the companies are having difficulty filling up the position, you'll see computer science is right on top. There is computer science and there is computer engineering. And if you add them two up, that's the most. So that means there's a lot of demand for the job on this field. So it might motivate you to pursue a computer engineering degree, computer science and engineering degree. Also, in terms of salary, this is just an average money salary rate. Uh, it always increases as you have a higher degree, from certificate to bachelor degree to master's degree. Now I'm going to just briefly focus on few areas in computer science and engineering. For example, you can focus on the cyber security. It's very, very important, very, very upcoming, and there will be lots of demand in future. Cyber security includes security in the web, security in the smartphone, and other cyber areas. You can also focus on microcontroller programming, which is firmware development for IoT and wearable. It is predicted that there will be about 20 billion IoT devices by next 10 years, and there will be lots of programmers needs for these IoT devices. So if you really put your mind to it, you might be one of them and have a very good career opportunity. Another focus area is developing smart algorithm, or known as artificial intelligence or AI. Is very demanding because most of these IoT and wearables, the algorithms they use is a smart algorithm. But there is other areas where a smart algorithm can be used. A smart algorithm is also growing in the sense that a lot of devices nowadays use a smart algorithm. So if you are expert on this, you might have a good career opportunity. You can also focus on computer and software programming, learning different programming language and being a master on those. You can also focus on smartphone app development. The smartphone app is also growing, and this app development job is also on the rise. There is also traditional network programming, network architecture, or designer jobs available for computer science and engineering graduates. Another traditional area is database administrator, computer system analyst, and data scientist. If you are interested in research and higher studies, what should you focus on then? If you want to do further studies, you can focus on Internet of Things, which is going to grow, as I said, about very exponentially in next 10 years and so. Wearables like a smart band and other wearable devices, for example, wearable device that can track steps or that can track heart rhythms and so on. There is a lot of high demand for this. So this is also a very good research area. Medical electronic devices, such as pacemaker and other implanted devices, also in an increasing rate of research, which can be done by computer scientists and computer engineers. There is also a very big push for smart car or self-driving car, especially in USA and other developed countries where the streets are more organized. Smart car algorithms is a very big research area right now. So if you want to do research in foreign countries, this might be a very good opportunity to focus on adaptive smart car, self-driving cars. There is also a big research push on smart homes and smart office, which means that power needs to be optimized, and smart algorithms decides how to optimize this power and so on. So you can focus on these areas as well. Another research area, smart city, the city as a whole to make it smart, or the community as a whole to make it smart and connected community. There is a lot of research issues there, trust and reliability, privacy and security. So that might be a very interesting area for you. Cyber physical systems, which includes both cyber domain and physical domain. And most of the devices or computers that I have shown, other than regular computer, falls into this cyber physical domain. So this is a very growing field as well. There is a traditional computer science and engineering research in robotics and humanoids. And recently, the robots are becoming more skilled and adaptable. So in future, we might see them, and there might be a big research areas in robots and humanoids as well. You can also think of drones and unmanned aerial vehicles, especially in USA. Drone research is very, very popular. Then there is research in smart power grid or microgrid. I think this is also important in the prospect of Bangladesh as well. Finally, quantum computing or quantum security, very, very hot area in computer science domain. Very difficult to do research, but if you are interested to do future research in this area, I'm sure you'll have a good career opportunity. So now let me just briefly tell you some things you should do while you're studying towards your degree. Very important, as I said before, keep up your GPA because that's the thing that counts. Do not slack off. Always try to do good in every course so that your CGPA is high. As well as you should develop your skills. Just because something is needed for the course, that doesn't mean that you cannot do self-motivated course. You can do your some projects yourself. There is a lot of universities now have courses which is open, like MIT has a lot of open courses that you can learn from YouTube, and you can do projects by yourself because ultimately you need to develop your own skill. Programming is something to learn. Nobody can teach you unless you want to learn. Make sure the projects you do are completely functional. Don't do a half job because then you don't get to understand how to complete a project. Also, the project should be statistically verified, which sometimes we neglect to complete. While you are doing your study, if there is opportunity for internship, you should take it. This is very, very helpful for job market. Internship might be low paid, but it develops you the skill and develops you the connections that you need to get job at the end of the degree. So if you have opportunity for internship, I highly recommend to do some internships. Prepare yourself for job market for or higher studies. Again, look at your long-term goal. If you want to go for job or if you want to go for higher studies, and prepare yourself accordingly. If you want to go for higher studies or graduate studies, you should do some project with intensive research and also think of publication. These are very critical to get to the higher studies. You also need to prepare for TOEFL or GRE and also keep up to date with technology development. I have to tell you that it might be possible that when you go to the work, you will use completely different technologies and completely different software. So why you are learning what you are learning? Because this is basically step to learn how to learn. That is the most important part. You need to learn how to learn. That's the goal for your undergraduate study. I'm going to just briefly talk about some pitfalls that typically students fall and cannot complete the course. So I would advise you not to study to pass the course. Obviously, you need to pass the course, but study to learn the course because that's the most important part to learn and develop your skill. Do not slack off. If you slack off and if you have a bad GPA in any semester, it's very, very hard to recover. So make sure you're motivated every semester. Every semester counts. Every semester CGPA counts. Also keep up with class. Don't think that I will just do it at the end or at the exam time because there will be too much. And actually, you will not do the first point, which is you will not learn. You will just pass the course. To learn, you need to keep up with the classes. GPA of every semester is critical. I'm hammering this because this is, I think, one of the most important thing I want you to take out from this talk. CGPA will accumulate. So every semester GPA will add up. If you have a low GPA in any semester, it is hard to recover and get a high CGPA. And I'm going to tell you that your journey actually starts today because your study is your journey. So take it seriously, and I hope that you realize the importance of it. So some concluding remarks before I finish. So I would say that you should learn for yourself because you are in control. You want to make yourself a better designer, a better computer scientist, or better computer engineer. You don't need to learn for the course. You learn for yourself. So explore self-driven courses, self-motivated projects, and also obviously try to do well in the courses as well for GPA. Don't be afraid to take challenging project. If the project is challenging, take it as a learning opportunity. You learn the most when the project is challenging. Do not do easy courses. Everybody can do that. But do challenging courses, then you will learn a lot. Develop good work ethics. Be open for lifelong learning. Don't think that this 4 years is the end of your learning. I'm still learning. I'm teaching a new course and I'm reading that book. So learning never ends. So you should be prepared for lifelong learning. Have a long-term goal. Think of short-term steps that you need to take to achieve this. But you should have a long-term goal. What do you want to see after 10 years or 15 years? And what you need to do to get there. Break down the long-term goal in short steps or short chunks and try to complete them step by step so that you can achieve it. And at the end, I would like to wish all of you a successful career in CSC.